how you doing? Today I'm here to rank all the movies that I watched in 2022 that also came out in 2022. Complex, I know, but in 2022 I watched like a bunch of movies. I don't even remember how many, and quite a lot of them were 2022 releases, so I thought it would be fun to throughout the year keep like track of like my ranking of them from like my least favorites, like that. And I did that on a letterbox list. And now the end of the year has come, and that means I can go over the list with y'all. So yeah, there's a lot of movies. I forgot to look at the exact amount, but there's a lot of them. So I'm not gonna go in depth about every single one. Just be talking about whatever one I want. I'm going from least favorite to favorite. Okay, so I checked. There's 57 movies on the list. So let's get started with number 57. My least favorite movie that came out this year is Sex Appeal. I remember when I watched it, in the month that I watched it in, I did like a huge rant and like my movies I watched this month video, and I don't know how much of that rant made it in. I don't remember. I truly despise this movie. It's easily the worst movie I watched all year, even including all of like the back list movies I watched. It's horrible. And we have 13 the musical. I've seen a lot of people online say they don't like it since then, and especially people who love the musical say this butchered it. So I'll believe them because this was terrible, even as a person who has no familiarity with the actual musical. Next up, Hotel Transylvania Transformania, which pains me because I love this franchise, but this movie was just terrible. We have Senior Year, which I like the flashbacks of, but I like the actual current day timeline was horrible. Tall Girl 2, I don't need to explain this. Crush, which is gonna crush so many people because I know so many people love this movie, and I wish I were you. I thought this was horrible. I wanted to love it though. We have Disenchanted, which was soulless. It was just a soulless movie. Spin Me Round, a movie that did not know what I wanted to be, so therefore I also did not know what I wanted to be, and it wasn't a fun time watching it. Falling for Christmas, you have not great Christmas movies that are still a fun time. They're corny, they're cheesy, but you have a fun time with them. This is not that. Lindsay Lohan deserves better for her Renaissance. Pinocchio, the Disney one, I did not watch when I came on Netflix. I forgot the guy's name who directed it, which is a shame. I know I should have watched that instead. This, again, did not like it. I'm already not a big Pinocchio story fan. I guess on the story I am attached to very much, but I don't think this one told the story very well. The Weekend Away, I don't remember this movie at all. Like, I remember what happened in it. I don't remember any of my thoughts. We have Along for the Ride. I thought this movie was just very bland and very boring, and not a whole lot happened in it. I'm sure the book is better. I don't know. Hello Goodbye and Everything in Between. Again, a case where I thought it was very boring, very bland. And I'm sure the book is better, even though I don't know. Klaus Family 3 is actually a step up from 2. I despise 2. But this one had some heart to it, even if I did not like it. The Princess. I wanted to laugh. Just look at this. Look at this magnificent poster. Doesn't that just scream badassery to you? It was really boring and nothing happened in it. Luckiest Girl Alive tried to be good and tried to discuss a lot of messages, but it just made me feel icky. Then Persuasion. I need to talk about this one. I feel like everyone has talked about this one. Not fun. Not good. Had some fun moments at times, a little bit, but not good. Hocus Pocus 2. I find with Hocus Pocus 2 there's a camp of people who absolutely love this movie and a camp of people who don't like it. I don't like it. It just didn't have that same magic as the first one, in my opinion. Uncharted, not good, not bad, very average. The Royal Treatment, actually the first 2022 release I watched. It's fine, nothing special. My Policeman, I again wanted to love this so badly, and I didn't. Purple Hearts should not be as high up as it is. I know that. Because arguably this is the most problematic bad movie on the list. But while I was watching it, did not realize that. I was fully invested. I saw my eyeballs out. I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And then it finished and actually thought about things. I was like, whoa, this is terrible. So there you go. Death on the Nile, boring. I like Murder on the Orient Express better, but it also wasn't offensively bad. Don't Worry Darling, predictable. The ending could have been fleshed out more, the beginning could have been fleshed out a little less, but I had a fun time. Our Father, it's a documentary. I don't like rating or reviewing those, but this is just kind of where it fell for me naturally. Werewolf by Night, really good, not my thing. Scream, it's gotta be blasphemy that I put that above Werewolf by Night for some people, but I generally enjoyed my time watching this movie at points. At other points, I thought it wasn't good. World Dolls was a musical, and I really went to like, but I think this just had a little bit of too many songs in it that like halted the pacing, and therefore I just also didn't really get invested that much. The Adam Project, terrible as a sci-fi time travel movie, really good in its character connections, and made me sob because of that. So it falls in the middle for me. Bodies. A little bit boring to me, not as high stakes as I would have liked, but I really like the discussions around like dysfunctional and toxic friendships in here, and the cast of characters was a lot of fun. Love in the Villa, the first half, when they're like the enemies of the enemies, the lovers part, I didn't like, but the lovers part, chef's kiss. Marry Me, again, one that I wanted to like more than I did, but it was fun, bit fanficky, but nothing to write home about. A perfect pairing, objectively, not that good, but I was really invested in it. Something from Tiffany's, again, one objectively that isn't as good, but like the chemistry of the cast just makes this movie for me. Moonshot, I really enjoyed this. This is my catnip. This does a lot of things that I personally really love, and it does it well. It's not a perfect rom-com, but I do think it's a lot of fun. Better Late Than Ever is also a really fun movie with great heart to it, but looking back on it now, it's not that memorable. Bros, one that snuck up on me. Didn't think I was gonna like this one as much as I ended up doing, but I did think it was a fun time. Thor Love and Thunder, I don't understand hate, y'all. Like, I agree it's not a great movie, it's not the best Thor movie at all, it doesn't come close to Ragnarok, but some of you are saying this is worse than The Dark World, and I want to talk because no. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, I missed a lot of references. A lot of references is just weren't my thing because I did not watch, animation is not my genre that I'm knowledgeable in and I watch a lot. But despite that, I still thought it was a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. And that's perfect for this premise, for this movie. The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, this was just a fun, cozy time for Christmas. Very over the top, very fun, very Guardians. And I really liked it, especially because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 looks like it's going to be an emotionally heavy movie, so like the light fluffiness was welcome. And I watched Lightyear, which also I think I enjoyed more than most people. I generally thought this was a fun time. It's predictable. Yes, it doesn't do anything like out of the box, but it is a fun time watching it, and the animation is just amazing. The Lost City, so much fun. It's such a fun rom-com, and like puts in the like adventure element so well, and Daniel Radcliffe is like the perfect villain in this one. Olivia Rodrigo, Driving Home to You was our film. This is just high up for the music. Like generally the renditions he did over songs in this movie, like this documentary, beautiful. And I still hate her for not having released those yet. This movie came out in March, I believe, like very early in the year, and we still don't have those renditions on Spotify. Girl, what you doing? What you doing? We need it. The School for Good and Evil, I really enjoyed. It's not perfect. It has its issues. It does some improvements on the book. It does the book dirty at some points. But I thought it was a fun romp, and I'm very excited for a sequel if it gets one. Look Both Ways, a very fun premise that was executed very well in my opinion, and I really loved both of the timelines and how they intercepted and like connected, and like there are parallels and shit. And I thought it was just a fun watch with some emotional beats. The Wonder, a very slow movie that's not gonna be for everyone, that I really enjoyed. X, again, people are gonna kill me for putting it so low, but I really liked this, and I liked the tone of it, how eerie, like it was eerie before it got scary. I like that. I loved the cast of characters. I thought it was a lot of fun. I just think the ending left me with a little bit too many questions for me to be fully satisfied with it. I still have to watch Pearl though. Fresh, probably the movie that I watched this year that's the most out of my comfort zone. I had to be in the exact right headspace to watch it, and I was disgusted still. But it is a fun time. I think it blends that like comedy and horror thing really well. I really like the cast of characters, and it was well done. It's just that my utter disgust of what was happening in this movie kept me from giving this a full 5-star. Then Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, y'all can kill me now. I know nobody likes this movie, but I thought it was amazing. I loved it. Not okay. More people need to watch this movie. It's so good. I did not expect this to be so good. I did think it was gonna be like a fun movie, but it wasn't. I mean, it did have its fun moments, but mainly it's a social commentary, and it does it so well. Fuck, go watch it. Fire Island, again, really great. Has its great emotional moments. It's a fun time as well. Has a great focus on kind of family and friendship, while also having two romances at its center that are amazing. It's a Pride and Prejudice reimagining, and it's fantastic. Turning Red, for the longest time, this was my number one. It isn't anymore, but it was for a really long time. And I really thought nothing was gonna top it, and then like all of a sudden a bunch of movies topped it. But I really like this more than I was expecting, and I feel like everyone has kind of forgotten about this movie now by the end of the year because it came out pretty early in the year. But it's so good. I think it perfectly encaptures what it's like to be a teenage girl, like a 13-year-old girl. Perfectly encaptures that. But then I also really like kind of the fantastical elements to it and like the cultural elements to it. That was integrated really well as well. So yeah, big fan. Rosalind. Again, one I didn't expect to love as much as I did, but I did. I thought this from the trailer it looked very cringy, and I wasn't too sure about it, but it actually was a really fun time, and definitely not for everyone. Enola Holmes 2 is a surprise to no one because I am Enola Holmes' biggest fan. The movie, I haven't read the books. This movie, up the antes of the first one, did everything so much better, and Enola and Sherlock are like my favorite sibling dynamic anywhere right now. I'm seeing a girl mess my mind and me, make me sort my eyeballs out. It's like, I don't know, do revenge. This somehow did it. Like, I saw this poster when it was first revealed. I watched the trailer and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be my favorite thing of all time. I can tell from your personality. And I kept hyping it up more and more the closer we got to the release date. And I was like, there's no way this is gonna live up to my expectations. And I was correct. It didn't live up to my expectations. It exceeded them. It somehow did that. I don't know how it did that, but it did that. And then my favorite movie that came out in 2022 is Wedding Season, which is a surprise for me because I hadn't heard a lot about this. I just randomly saw a TikTok one day that's like, if you love fake dating, go watch this movie. And I was like, I adore fake dating. What are you talking about? And I watched it. More people need to watch this. It's so good. And yeah, that's already everything I made it to this list quicker than I expected to. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely let me know your favorite movies that came out this year because I need some recommendations. I know I watched a lot of movies that were very popular this year that I haven't watched yet. I need to rectify that. So like, you can leave your recommendations below. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Here I am again, the same old situation.